Maybe you're out in the wilderness like me, or maybe you're in your own urban jungle. If you want to have a campfire, now all you need is this. What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter Von Panda. I just picked this up. It's by City Bonfires. They aren't the only company that makes something like this, but they have been advertising very heavily, and so I thought, well, maybe I should buy one of them and see if it's worth anything. This little tiny box is a campfire in a can. So if you are sitting on your porch in your high-rise, you can have your own little campfire safely in a can. If you are outdoors and you want to just start a fire without setting up a fire pit, you can do that too. So right here are the instructions on how this little bad boy works, but I think I'm going to be able to tell you how to work this yourself. Now, it comes in this little tin here, kind of looks like a large candle, says City Bonfires on there, and some safety information here. It's obviously a fire, be careful with it, I'm not your mama. So if you get injured or burn something down or get in trouble, ain't my responsibility. But if we open this up and see what's inside, ooh, it's kind of tight. There we go. Some more warnings just fell out of there. What you can see here is we have what looks like egg carton material to me. Then it looks like the whole thing is just flooded with soy wax or something. So basically what I think these things are going to work like are giant candle wicks. So these are what are actually going to burn. And generally what I have found out about things like this is that they don't just take a flame like a candle does. That really small wick is easy to light. So what I've kind of found is that I have a very long lighter here so I don't get my fingers burned, is that you want to light one on fire and then kind of rotate it around. Otherwise they will all eventually light, but you do have to keep a flame to them a little bit here. But they will kind of very slowly spread around because you really need all four burning to get that full campfire effect. It looks like I almost had this one lit here. No, not quite. So you can see here, that's why I think the lighter is the best way. You can certainly light this with a match, I'm sure, but you're probably going to need a few matches. Now, as I mentioned here, kind of rotating this flame around so that it melts some of the other bricks here, I think is the way to go. And in fact, then you can kind of fast track it by lighting another one. And of course, flame burns up, so lighting these lower ones, letting it burn this way. Now, keep in mind, if you hold this like this too long, the little tin is going to get very hot as well. So I'm just trying to get all of these ignited as quickly as possible here. I think I've got 3 of them going. Looks like that fourth one. Ooh, that fourth one just lit too. So I just got that lit. All right. So, let's see what it's like. All right, so just turn the camera around here, and this thing is burning pretty well already. So, I noticed in some of the comments of different products that compete with this, some people say it was hard to get lit. I would say it just takes a little while to light this one, but with all 4 wicks now burning, this is a pretty good flame here, and I would expect this to get pretty warm pretty quickly. And so you can see that wax is melted on top and moving around a little bit, but that's putting out some serious heat. What I also will say here is that it's putting out a little bit of smoke up here too. So this is not an indoor type of fire pit. I would use one of those alcohol sterno fire pits if you want to use it indoors. But for sitting outside, by your pool, on your porch, on your balcony, on your deck, to take in your backpack, to have in your car so that when you're out in the wilderness and you want to light a fire, keep it safe without lighting everything else on fire, I think this would work great. In fact, I think that this would put out a lot of light and ambiance too. So let's try it at night. All right, so here we are, romantic evening. But it is being lit up with the dancing orange and yellow flames here. So I've got a really nice little setup here where the flame is producing that comforting, warming, campfire-like light. I will tell you what, it's putting out a decent amount of light here. You know, I could use this in the center of a table outside, picnic table, have dinner around, have a glass of wine with some friends, a dram of whiskey, a glass of Welch's carbonated grape juice. Whatever it might be, you could certainly do it. This is pretty nice. Like I said, putting out a decent amount of heat, roast a hot dog, marshmallow, or something like that on here, but also use it as light, and I think it's much more natural, romantic, outdoorsy type of light. It's going to give you that ambiance that you're looking for that you might just be missing in the flood of city light. So if you want to have a little campfire in your environment, urban or rural, I think that something like this could make life just a little bit nicer for you. And when you are done with it and you want to put it out, just take the lid here and slide it over the top, and it'll extinguish it just like that. I'll put a link to City Bonfires in the description below. Peter Von Panda, out.